So I was talking about improvements that I wanted to do for Pagebound. Pagebound is the book tracking app. It's really good. I really like it. I think one thing that's great about it is almost the transparency in terms of like features and what they're doing and what they're bringing to it. And you can like, there's like a forum where you can like request things or put like suggestions in there, especially if you like are using the app and you might find something and be like, hey, like you might want to like improve this. Like this video is just going to be about features, well specifically one feature that I would kind of like seen or like would want more information. I could probably send them an email, to be honest. But yeah. So what is that feature that I would like to add? I want them to have, I would like their search and their like data to include the series name in somewhere. And I only think it's not, I think it might be in the database. I just don't think they're using it in ways that could be useful. So yeah, I kind of found this from trying to look up books and trying to find the series, and like if I don't know the series name but it's in the title. Yeah, and I know on Goodreads like I would regularly just like click on the series name and like have the whole list. Like I even did it earlier today because I was looking at the off-campus stuff because I'm still convinced I've read them. I just don't remember them. I don't know. I remember the blue cover, like the deer with the blue cover, or the blue writing. But what was it? That's a sidetrack. Yeah. So yeah, for background, I used to work as a data analyst in superannuation, which is big thing in Australia. Everyone gets super if you have a job, even casual. And so super data, it's got both like financial stuff, but also categories, and then also people stuff. So it's kind of good. You get to see how different places store their data, and also form opinions on that. So some ways are good, some ways are bad, in my opinion. And yeah. So that's kind of why when I was using specifically a search function, it kind of came to mind that they could improve it a little bit. And I looked today and I think they have, but they could improve it a little more. And so my example was Six of Crows. Because when you look up Six of Crows, the first book, it's got Six of Crows, and in brackets, Six of Crows #1. I'll insert a picture. And so I think when I first wrote my notes, if I searched up Six of Crows, the second book, Crooked Kingdom, wasn't coming up second. They've now fixed that, so I think it does work. But I think it works because Six of Crows is the name of the series and the name of the book. But if the name of the book and name of the series are different, then it won't come up, if that makes sense. And you might be like, okay, well, why would you want it to come up? I don't know. I just feel like so my example was The Way of Kings. So I looked up The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and that's in the series called The Stormlight Archive. But if you search The Way of Kings, only the books with The Way of Kings in the title will come up. And that makes sense, because you might not want, like, the first one. But because the books are obviously not related by the series type, it feels like if you wanted to, like I don't know, in a way it feels like that should be a relationship that exists. But yeah, I don't know. In my mind, like, if I was searching up The Way of Kings and I knew it was the first book in the series, but I didn't know what the second one was called, I probably want the second one to come up. And you might be like, that could be a lot of noise, and I get that. But specifically for books where the title is different to the series name, not having, like, and you only know the first one, it's like, how am I going to find it without Googling it? And then if I did, I would probably just end up on Goodreads, click through the series title, and then have them all listed. So it's just like, if you're going to have a search, then I reckon you'd probably want them to come up as well. Like, almost like a related, like a little section down the bottom, related books. Like, it doesn't have to be in the actual search. You could have search and then related books down the bottom. And then they might just be there because they are related, because the series is the same and they are in the same series, but they're not titled The Way of Kings. So yeah, that's kind of like what I found of, like, if I think I was like, I don't know, I was listening to some random audio book that I didn't even end up finishing, but I was trying to find the second one, and I was like, okay, I'll look it up on Pagebound. But because on Pagebound you can't click through the series title, and I probably should just take some time to remember the series title, but I tried to go through the author, and you're like, oh yeah, like the author, they'll have all the lists, and like that's where you can find it. It's like, yes, they do, but the author's page isn't ordered. So if I go on Rachel Reed, I think, yeah, they must be. Yeah, like all the books are just in alphabetical order, which makes sense, right? They're ordered. They're in alphabetical order from A to Z. But that means that if you have the same book in, like, it means that for Rachel Reed example, like, the book series isn't in order. Like, that's, which would be, for a library, probably the more logical ordering of a book, like of a series of books. You don't really want to, like, be looking at a thing and be like, okay, well, if I click on this, what number is this one? And yeah, oh, okay, I forgot to say. So I forgot to tell you, the way that books, if they are in a series on Pagebound, the title has it in it. Oh no, I did. Yeah, so Six Crows brackets Six Crows number 1, and Crooked Kingdom is Crooked Kingdom brackets Six of Crows number 2. It's like Rachel Reed, like Game Changers, it's Heated Rivalry, then in brackets Game Changers number 2, and that's the book title, which I think is fine. I think that's actually okay, but I think I think it's meant that they haven't saved the series name. And why do I think that? Because they haven't ordered on the series name. So back to Rachel Reed's, like, author page. It makes sense to have it in alphabetical order, but if you ordered by the series name, then series name, the number, then you'd have them in kind of the more logical order that you would want a book to be in. So the series would be grouped together, and then their standalones might be off to the side. And especially for like Lee Bardugo, like with the 2 series, like I don't really want to have to search through all of these books to get to the next number if I can't click through the series. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'll put an example. I'll do a little screen recording. So if I go to Lee Bardugo's, I'll do Six of Crows. feel like she's a good one because she has standalones and series. So it's like the first one is A Darker Shore. That's Six of Crows 2.5. And then it goes to Alex Stan, number 1, the first book, but it's in Spanish. And then there's like Better Pets, which I assume is a new book. And then there's Crooked Kingdom down there, Deadbeat, Ninth House Series, Book 3. And Demons in the Wood, Grishaverse number 0. Like, they're not in ordered, but I think they could be. So what I would want them to do, even if you don't have to display it, even if it's not a functionality yet that you can click through the series, I just want a table where you have the title, the series name, the series number, and then also, I reckon also a tag of the language. I didn't have this in the other ones in the other times I've tried to record this, but I've discovered it now looking. Then like obviously author and date, like all the other stuff. But you could even just have this as a little key table. And then that would allow you to order things on language, on series name, and number. So if you do the author's page, you could have the series in author, series in order, and also grouped by the languages. So I've added the languages because I thought, in my mind, if you're going to have a translated title book, then the series title would also be translated, but they're not. They're under, so like the Six of Crows, like Spanish version is under Six of Crows as well. It's okay because each line is technically different, like each line is unique. Was it having the series name in English? I mean, that kind of means that you're saving it, aren't you? I don't know, that like confuses me. But I just think it would allow them to order things better and to have the like related search as well if they wanted that. And personally, for someone who would use it and who has been using Pagebound to check my things, but then if I just randomly find a book, I'll still use Goodreads. Like, it's the thing of, I would use it if their search was a little bit more functional. What was it? I don't know. I feel like I'll need like a visual thing to explain what I mean with the author. But I don't know if you can imagine it. Like you'd have like Shadow and Bone and then like 1, 2, 3. And then you could have Shadow and Bone but in a different language, 1, 2, 3. And I think if I'm looking at an author's page, I don't really want to just look at their books in alphabetical order. I don't think it makes sense. I think it would make more sense of like a popularity rating even. Like books don't make sense to be done in alphabetical order in my mind, personally. But yeah, even then, I think it's also part of it as well that people can add books. So I think sometimes some people have added the books and done the like title in their language, then in brackets the series, probably because they also refer to the series in the English name. Whereas some people haven't, they've done it in both. So there's also kind of a need to uniform and choose one in a way, which is a lot of work, but it would aid them in the long run, especially when you think about their data. their data is not going to shrink. It's only going to grow. They're only going to get more people, and they're only going to get more books. And so if you have data issues now, when there's, say, millions of books, it's going to be easier to make, and it's going to be easier to have protocols of when you get new data in, what you do, how you do it, blah, 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 compared to if you try to do it later when there's 100 million lines, then it would be a lot harder. It would just take more time, and there's more risk. If there's more data that you're changing, there's more risks that you're taking because you're doing more changes. But yeah, I think that was all of my things. Yeah, it's just a search. So yeah, I think in my mind as well, having like the series as a set data point would just allow for any functionality that they want to do on the series name later to exist. And again, by setting it up earlier, they're like, you're doing your work now rather than doing it when you want to do it later. Also, I don't know if this is just a really personal, like, I don't know if anyone else wants to do this or not. But yeah, I think my main thing is like, if I look through an author's page, I just have to scroll so much to find like the books I've read. And I just wish I could filter. Maybe that's also it. I wish I could filter it. I wish I could filter on the series name, on anything really, even search on it. Yeah, I wish I could filter on the series name, on the like language even. Like, it doesn't have to be, language is harder, so I would say series name. And because even that would just decrease it, even if you have the other languages there, it would still mean you're not searching through 100 books, when in reality there's 20 books, but there's 5 languages. Yeah, that is my main thing. And I think I probably found this a lot because I didn't import with Goodreads, which if you saw my thing of why but yeah, if you saw my thing of like why I don't use Goodreads, it's because all of it would be my like teenage self, and so I don't want that on on Pagebound either. But it does mean that if I want to say like, hey, I've read all of the series, I have to go through individually, and because I can't click on the series name, I can't do that easily, and I can't. So what I've done is, for some of them, if I can't be bothered, I'll just say I've read the first one or the last one. But I think the community recs will save me. Yeah. Now I can just go through my community recs. But even then, I still think that having a I think having that to be able to order things and delineate, to like separate group, would just allow for any functionality that you want to add later on that to be set up and used while they're growing or as they're growing. Yeah, because even the community recs are added by the community. So if someone hasn't gone through and added them, then they're not going to be there. Yeah, like even, okay, I've just clicked through the Mistborn ones, and like Mistborn 3 isn't up there. Yeah, Mistborn 3 Heroes of Ages is number 1, 2, 12. 12. So the third book of the series is 12th in the community recs because it hasn't been upvoted. Whereas if it was just automatically at the top because it was the same series and your data knew that, then that would make more sense logically, no? Hello. Hopefully this is working. Nice. So, as I was editing the video, my Pagebound video, I just kind of realized that at the end I started having these like ideas that I wasn't really explaining well, and I couldn't really communicate what they were. And then also I didn't really like finish off with any points in terms of like what I think they could actually do, what I would do, just like little things I think they could do without doing anything big that would just make things a little bit more functional, a little bit more clear. So, wait. I guess upside down. Well, actually, turn and face you. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think there's just a couple of things that they could do, simple things that they could do that could make it a little bit more easier, a little bit more functional, in terms of the app and the data. And also just things I noticed, that I don't think are great, and like data issues, and like things they might want to do in the future just to clean it up a little bit. Because I think that's my main issue, is that it's just like obviously a little messy, and like data quality issues are fine. Like everyone has data quality issues, but a lot of the time is spent at the front end cleaning them up, and it just feels like that hasn't happened because I feel like they're like, oh well, we'll add that later. So like we'll clean it up when we add in the series name, and we'll like do that then. But I don't know, it's just a bit bad if you can like as a user you can visibly see like the data's not that clean. But yeah, so yeah, I think my main issue with the data is that like it's quite clear that there's no established relationship with, I'm talking in the data, not obviously in the world, like established relationship between books in a series, and that they just haven't implemented anything with the data point of series name. I don't even know if they save it. They probably do because it's quite easy to pull out. But yeah, like it's just like that's a bit weird, right? I don't know. And yeah, I know that one of the like new things that they're building is a series page. I think that's great, but I just want to like make sure that they also still actually use that relationship within the database and like use it to help things. What this having that series name as a relationship would allow would be what I would say is their best way to fix their author page. The author page is clearly just like a table with all the books that are ordered by author on alphabetical order. And if you had the series name, series number, date published, and the language, and if you just ordered that table on that, when it's put into the app, all of my issues with the author page would be fixed, right? Like they'd be ordered by the language. So even if there's still like, I can see the 5 languages that exist, like they're grouped. So I can just scroll down to the English ones. If I want to see it in Portuguese, I can scroll down to that. Like that's not an issue. So if you do language, then series name, series number, then the standalone books will just be up the top because they don't have a series name. Then the series will be grouped probably in alphabetical order of what the series is called, and then within the series in order. And I put date published at the end just so that the series doesn't have to be in the alphabetical order. It can be in publication order, so like what series was published first. yeah, so like, I don't know, I feel like that would just help the author page, and that's a pretty easy thing to do, because they don't actually have to change anything within the app. It's just within the database. It's just ordering that table to be a little bit more logical. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's like my main thing, because it would just reduce the noise of when I'm looking at an author's page. Like, it would group it in a way that is slightly more relevant to books than, other points of data. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think I'll do one thing. So at the end of the video, I kind of had an idea of like how they could, on a book's page, display what the series is, because currently you can see them through the community recs, but I like the example of Mistborn, which is the one I'm also did the example for, where the third book was like 12th or something in the list of community recommendations. And it's just like, why is the third book not like second or like not up there? And that's just because all the community recs are like upvoted and added by the community. And yeah, so what I thought was that they could just have above community recs just like a little section called like related books, or like books in the series in the same world. Here I've just used The Well of Ascension is just the second book. But like this could be like, it'd be The Well of Ascension, then, oh god, what's the third book? Mistborn 3. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it'd be The Well of Ascension, then The Heroes of Ages, and then like with the Wax and Wayne, like there's another series in that world as well. Like then they could be like 4, 5, 6, 7, like it would go on. And then the community recs could just be like books that are like similar, because I feel like currently now, for ones that are in series, they're more like a way that people have started putting, like grouping the series together. But yeah, I think that was the main idea. And even like, I know that they are creating that series page, but like this could be just a way that is linked on the book. Because like I said, when I'm like, say I've like started reading this series and I know the first book's name and that's all I know, even when I go to search it, I'm gonna go and search on the first book. And so if the second book is just displayed on the page, then that can be how I can like find that series out, rather than having to go to the author or even to the series page. Like it can just be here. Yeah. And yeah, this is just like my little mock-up of like what it would look like if you scrolled down. Do this very quickly. And yeah, then my other idea was related search. So like, say here I use The Way of Kings. So say I'm looking up, like The Way of Kings, which is the first book in the Stormlight archive, but I've forgotten what the series is called. Then like down the bottom you might have like related books, and they could be, yeah, like if in the database there is a series like relationship, then this would be really easy to pick up because your data knows they're related. And so yeah, it's just like related books of like you might also be interested in, and it's like The Way of Kings, and then down here is like number 2, and then number 3, number 4, number 5, and stuff like that. So it's like they're just displayed. I do think this could create a little bit too much noise, but then like you could just cut it off as like, I like the second one or the third one, like just display like the one above and below. It doesn't need to be all of them. But yeah, I think that could be like a good thing further down in the track. just to, help, like, make the search a little better, a little bit more intuitive, in terms of, like, how I use search. And it would also make me use the app more if, like, the search was a little better. That's my whole thing. All of these are said out of love. But yeah, so I'll keep it here because I don't know if it is a data issue. I think it is. But it's been quite good. Like, they're obviously picking up the search, and like now if you looked up Stole My Archive, like it comes up in order of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then all the like, what are they called? What's a short story called? Yeah, like short stories or like little interludes that books have that are like 2.5, and there's another one that's 3.5. Then they're listed below, and that doesn't really make sense again, right? Like, you'd want like the 2.5 in between the 2 and the 3, and the 3.5 in between the 3 and the 4. Like, that's just like, you'd want it in that chronological order. Prequel and short stories. Like, any prequels, if it's like 0.5, or I saw one that was like 0.1 and 0.2, 0.3, like, authors use different things, then that would be, you'd want that beforehand because then people know it's a prequel, right? Like, that's a standard method of showing like prequels and short stories and stuff that has come out later but is like put in. And what this is kind of telling me is that they're not really treating the 2.5 as numbers, or like as a float. Because if it was a float, if 2 and then 2.5, then 3, like, edge dancer would be up here, because in number order it goes 2, 2.5, 3. Hopefully that didn't shake too much. Yeah. And so it kind of is telling, I don't really know how they're treating it. One might be a number and then one might be a float. And then that's meant that it prioritizes numbers over floats in terms of the ordering. Like, data's not smart. If they're different types of numbers, it's not gonna like put them in order. That'll actually be it, right? So these will be treated as integers, and then this is a float. And so you'll have all your float numbers together because it can put them in order, and it's all one type and it knows how to interact. But if it can't really interact with the integer number, because like, that's just how data works. Like, it's not us writing down the physical numbers. And so it's not us, this will be ordered in, like, what's the word? Like, data type. It'll have, it'll have data type, so it'll have all integers first and then the floats. Whereas if you just made them all floats, then it would go in order. That's just a little data quality thing that I was finding. Yeah, I think that's all. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. I can probably try to answer more questions. That one would be a more complicated fix, but I think it's worth it. And I think it comes back to, again, like, a data quality issue that I see, that has gone through the different, like, the pipeline, the data pipeline. But yeah, this one they should fix. Please fix this one. Like, this one's okay. This one happens. Goodreads has them when they're all just listed in one in the series folder. But this is just a data issue because you've got integer here, float here, and they don't talk. You might think they should talk, but let it not be smart enough. I don't know. But yeah, if you made them all floats, they would communicate and it'd look nice and feel nice and would annoy me less. But yeah, so they were just like the little data things, and then also my little prototypes. I had a little fun. But yeah, like you could have related books, and then like even just like down the bottom, like these are different versions of the same book. Because I don't think it's worth having like 5 different Way of Kings. Yeah. Okay, was there anything else? Oh yeah, I feel like also if you'll watch this and like look through the app or even a different app and had a different idea, feel free to comment it. Like it's fun to think about how you could improve things and what your thoughts are. And also some people, like sometimes you don't know how to explain it. But yeah. Anyway, they're fun emojis. 2006, that's insane. 20 years old. View all language and dish. Oh wait, they have that. Okay, that's good. Then they should just hide them. Then they should just hide them. Wait, okay, my last point was moot. I think also it's more that, I think on Goodreads it's grayed out a little bit. Whereas I could click on these and comment them if I wanted to. So it's like, I feel like it's more like the way that people are redirected to the pages isn't as clear. Look, I don't care if you get anything out of this. Just fix that number thing. Anyway, stop. But anyway, I still like it. I like the app. It's pretty. I like the colours. I wish I could customize the colours. Or like on my custom shelves, add a colour. Maybe an emoji. Maybe I should just put an emoji in the name. That could work. Like, I feel like I like it because it's fun. But anyway, that shall be all for now. Before I get sucked in and start just looking at the app. But yeah, I'm whispering now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, I didn't show my mug. Okay. I am in a new house. I moved, but this is my Stitch mug. This is the before coffee. That was a dangerous move.